This is the J-7-A telegraph key. It's the one that everybody sells, telling you that all you have to do is oil it and it'll work. Well, I found that not to be true. I bought this several years ago and it ended up a paperweight for quite a while. Yesterday I thought maybe I'll try and fix it. So if you look at this right now, on this part here, on the swivel part, there was a steel pin. Well, I tried everything to get that pin out, and I couldn't do it. So I ground it down, even with the movable arm here, and then I drilled it out with a small drill, smaller than the diameter of the pin. And then I was able to get my lineman's pliers, and I was able to get it out. Anyway, I ended up putting a screw in it. Well, first of all, it didn't move at all. I mean, you have to push it, pull it, pull it. I oiled it, I did everything to it, and it wouldn't work. So after the pin came out, boy, it started to move easy. So I ended up drilling the whole thing out, tapping it to a 832 type screw, and I'll just give you an idea of what it looks like. Surprisingly, it's fairly simple. This is it right here, and this is what it goes into. And I tapped these separately. First I drilled and tapped this one, then I drilled and tapped this one to 832 for an 832 screw, and I cleaned this here. It was pretty cruddy. Evidently a lot of people, whoever had it before, tried to fix it by oiling it. Anyway, now I got it. By the way, drilling this out, I used a drill press. It's really, you just can't do it with a hand drill. Anyway, just to give you an idea what it looked like. I gotta line this up. At first, oh yeah, the screw, after I drilled this, I had to grind down the head of the screw because it was too, the circumference was too big, and it was hitting this thing here. Anyway, let's put it back together if I can, hopefully. And hopefully it'll work. This brass screw seems to work good. And by the way, this part here that goes through, I believe the hole is drilled a little differently than on this part here, because as you screw it in, the arm kept going up higher and higher, and that's what you want, because you don't want it to hit this base plate. And of course, this is the adjustment. I guess you could see it right here is the adjustment for it. Well, now I'm going to turn some power on here. I got it plugged into my my Tentec Jupiter. I'm going to turn off the transmitter. So that I can play with it. Works perfectly. It's no longer a paperweight, and I suggest if you're going to do this, you probably should have a drill press, because I don't know that you can line up the hand drill and drill that pin out. But surprisingly, I thought this would be a lot more complicated. I thought maybe there would be a brush in here or some kind of a contact that this thing would rub on. But I also found out that I believe that, in my opinion, that these here must have been rejects, because there ain't no way this thing worked with by putting oil on it, or when it was new, because it was actually, this part here, the movable arm, was actually rubbing against this part here, and no way can you oil that and get it up. Maybe there are some that are stuck, I don't know, but after looking at the contacts, I can tell the contacts were basically brand new. They've never been used. These were made somewhere from World War I all the way about to 1945. They're made by the L.S. Brock Manufacturing Company. And this here is the J5. This is the same thing without the blinker. And there's a pretty nice key, and but I wouldn't attempt this if unless you know basically what you're doing, or if you have a friend that can handle has a drill press. Anyway, but like I says, I think these things are brand new, but they must have been rejects and never used, because the contacts on there were shiny. They looked like a mirror. And I was a radio operator in the Army, and I can tell you, we use these things, or we use Morse code keys 24 hours a day. This is my favorite key here, the J45. It's a J37 key, and but we use these things 24 hours a day, and after a while they'll show wear. This showed absolutely no wear. Anyway, I hope you got something out of it. If you didn't, that's life. But they make good paperweights if you can't fix it, though. Thanks for watching.